and welcome back to my channel. This is another masking and bemoaning spooky edition where we are going to talk about horror films. This is, I don't know what of 10 that we're going to cover throughout the month of October in collaboration with Halloween. In conjunction with Halloween. I'm like, who am I collaborating with? I'm doing this by myself. All right, so the movie up on the docket is called I Am Lisa. I Am Lisa is on Amazon Prime. It is an hour and 32 minutes long. There are no big names, no familiar faces. And of course, I'm looking at my notes. If you're wondering why I'm looking down, because we're going to do what? Keep it concise and keep it cute. All right. So the gist of the story is a sadistic small town sheriff and her underlings brutalize Lisa. Lisa is a bookstore owner and like a town clerk. She's of course got all the trappings of nerddom, and they leave her for dead in the woods. She's bitten by a werewolf and bestowed with supernatural abilities. Lisa tries to retain her humanity as she exacts revenge. All right, and that is basically just the blurb description as you get from Amazon Prime, because that's where I did it is. Okay, so Lisa is the protagonist. She runs a bookstore and is a proper librarian. She went to Europe to get a master's degree in archival studies. So that's like the person that actually runs like the Library of Congress. It has a master in that. She got 2 degrees in that. So you know, she ain't no fake librarian, even though to be like your local librarian, you had to engage in that too. But like, we don't know what kind of aspirations that Lisa had outside of that. I don't know, she just kind of wanted to get out of town. But she has to return home after her grandmother dies, and the shop is their family shop. And they do find and sell rare books in addition, to the point that like one of them that's being brought up is that she found a book, or she has a first edition of Clockwork Orange, which if you have seen that before, you can go watch it. It's on something right now. This would be great to watch during horror times, but it's not a new movie. It was like made in like the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, so we're not gonna bring it back up. So you can go watch it on your own. But that edition, for the first edition of that, was like at least $200. So or was it $5? It was pricey for, of course, for a book. So it's like either $200 or $500. So just keep in mind. So she actually deals with it. She's not a librarian, but she runs this shop that has been her family for years. The antagonists are called the Hutchinses, which include the sheriff and her 2 children, who are Nick and Jessica. Jessica, who never grew out of being a high school bully of Lisa, is a drug dealer and apparently harmed Lisa because she had a crush on her all throughout high school. And so she comes in, like this starts off, she comes in and steals that first edition, like I was saying, and then assaults Lisa when she brings it back, because she tries to act like it's no big deal, because again, you stole this, you know, at least $200 book, we'll just say it's $200, and then you was like, well, I brought it back, and she had to be like, girl, this is not a library, you can't do this, and like, you just did that because you were bored, and you chased off her customers, her paying customers, who, or even just the kids that were reading in the bookshop just wanted to, you know, look at books, because she was still, you know, being chill about it, and it's not that big of a town, you know, people like this. And when she spurns her advances, she like spits in her face. And you know, she was like, this isn't over. So girl, that's assault. Okay, so when Lisa goes to report this to the incident to the sheriff, again, Jessica's mother, which she didn't want to do at first, but you know, that spitting was the last straw, honestly. And her deputy, Nick, Jessica's brother, beats her unconscious, but not before, but they also call in like Jessica and her 4 random friends, including this random black girl who doesn't actually do anything, but she didn't stop anything either. That's why she also had to, you know, die as part of the revenge plan. Because if you don't say anything, when you see something real going on, you're what? Complicit. So here we are. They beat her. They take Lisa out to the woods to let the wolves feed on her because apparently werewolves slash wolves have been an ongoing problem, and that's an easy way, I guess, to clean up your kills. And then of course Nick rapes her. It is off screen, thank goodness, but you know, here we are. And when Lisa regains consciousness in the woods, of course it is darkest night, and a wolf does bite her, but she, you know, she fights it off by hitting it upside the head with a rock, and she passes back out. But she is rescued. That's enough to get the wolf off her. She's rescued or taken in by somebody that is one of her praying customers who wanted one of those rare books, who happens to have a cottage out there. It's also worth mentioning that this lady, her name is Mary, is also the sheriff's sister who wants revenge because the sheriff helped kill their father, because she was doing all that so she could become sheriff. Ridiculous. Lisa then is turned into a werewolf because of course she was not bitten by any old regular wolf, and goes throughout exacting her revenge. That is the gist of this movie. Is this family friendly? No. There's blood, there's drug references, there's languages, sexual situations, although no actual nudity. Okay, how is this scary? Is it scary? How is it scary? How scary is it? On a scale of, you know, 0 to 5 spooky scary skeletons, I give it a 0, and that's because pacing and acting. So let's get into it. Is this a good overall movie? No, it is a D, because the storyline could have been good if it was just executed better. It wanted to be campy, but it took itself too seriously, and even if the situation was, it was ridiculous. Like, there's no reason for y'all to be fighting this girl. Like, just like your thing was, you took her out to the woods because she wanted to file a complaint. Like, the girl would have went on back to the store and just, you know, let it die down. Like, it wasn't that deep. The antagonists are one-dimensional and awful for no reason. Even the simple stunts were poorly executed. Like, the slaps, you've seen someone get slapped before. It was just like, yes. That's what made me mad, because it could have been good if it was actually executed. Because like the storyline, the plot is there. Revenge, a person turned into a monster wants their revenge for the people that did them wrong. Boom, that's a classic horror trope. Ain't that's Dracula. That's the Wolfman. That's every horror thing we've ever seen. Or even if that person was just crazy, like if the antagonist turned into a monster and you want to go all Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers, classic trope. What they do, they drop the ball, and I think I'm more pissed off than anything, because this could have been good. So that's what makes me mad. So here we are with this foolishness. Alright, and then even when they were beating her up, nothing like connected. I know it was low budget, but it was just like they took no pride in the overall execution of the movie. I really wish I could have got that hour and a half back of my life. That's that. There are no follow-up questions. This is movie. Do not go see this. This is truly one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. And like, I knew what it wanted to be, but it was just like the execution was just terrible. I was mad. and I love werewolf movies. I think that might be my favorite genre. Shout out to, you know, Silver Bullet. Shout out to Wolfman, the old Wolfman, which, you know, that makeup was ridiculous. But, you know, it's back in that. And the one with Benicio del Toro, because Benicio del Toro did his thing, but you know who did their thing? Of course, it should come as any surprise, Anthony Hopkins. He was horrible. And this was just like, and when I say horrible, I mean like a horrible human being, because he's, of course, acting down. Yeah. So that's like my favorite genre. And then, if you want to see, of course, the classic American Werewolves in London. If you want to see me talk about any good werewolf movies, you can look at, I'll insert a card and a clip and all that kind of stuff right here, so you can actually look at my video from last year when I talked about it. I talked about several werewolf movies that I don't know why I've always liked werewolf movies, but not like Twilight Werewolves. And here's the other thing too, with this, I didn't mind, like, even the makeup wasn't terrible, because they explained how you can either be like a full wolf or nothing happens, you remain your human form and you just die from the infection of the bite, or you can be like a full-blown wolf or some kind of weird hybrid. Like, yeah, they did Lisa's makeup in when the last full moon and she looked kind of ridiculous, but I've never seen like good werewolf makeup. The one from Silver Bullet and might be the best. The best transformation of a werewolf is actually in the An American Werewolf in London. Because that's, you know, with Rick Baker, the monster maker, who actually did the werewolf transformation on Michael Jackson in Thriller. So same kind of thing. Now, when you get to the overall werewolf of American Werewolf in London, that werewolf looked like a bear. So I did like that in this movie, at least y'all had people turning into, you know, like a regular looking wolf. It was just a wolf. So I don't mind that, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, you know, some of that makeup can be sketchy, but like the plot and the execution was so bad. I did not care how this werewolf looked. It's like, it's one of the better looks. That's what made me mad, man. It was just ugh. And I was like, I'm not even mad it's low budget. It's just the execution was not there. All right, I'm rambling. So here we are. All right. Don't watch this movie. Don't waste your time the way I did. What other werewolf movie have y'all like? What's y'all's favorite werewolf movie? If y'all are watching out here, I would love some interaction. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that hoo-ha. Follow me on IG, all this IG, Tumblr, here. Those are my main things. And yeah, and I mean, and also I keep forgetting that this is actually, it's technically a beauty channel, but you know, I like media. And I don't have enough people to separate, I don't think, to two different channels. I can like different things, y'all. Yeah, and my whole face and all that will be in the description if you have any questions about that, because I have been noticed it's called Masking and Bemoaning, and I haven't been doing any masks. I did put on a full face of makeup for y'all though. You like? Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. Remember that Nessie loves you. Bye.